Well, it's that time of year again. Time for delicious turkey dinners with the entire family gathered around the dinner table. Maybe you're thinking about doing something different this year. Maybe the whole family means so many people that your house will be bursting at the seams. Or maybe you're just looking to up the magic for your holiday get together and want it to resemble something more like the movies. Hey, it's your dad here, and I've got some great ideas for you to celebrate the holidays a little differently this year, or next year, or the year after. Some year. We're going to start with the cheapest and work our way up. Our first holiday getaway both ups the magic of the holiday and gives you room for the entire family. I'm talking about a cabin in the mountains. The first great thing about a cabin in the mountains is that you can get one that fits your entire family. A cabin where all the adults have their own bedroom and the kids can have bunk beds galore. Another great thing about a cabin in the mountains is they look amazing decorated for the holidays. Whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, there's nothing more picturesque or more traditional feeling than a decorated cabin. Of course, you're probably going to have to do the decorating yourselves, but you might find a cabin that does it for you. And finally, one of the best things about a cabin is it falls under the category of a captured audience. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I love vacations because of the captured audience. The kids don't disappear into their own rooms, all the activities are done together. Most cabins I've rented have plenty of board games and pool tables. It's a great time to bond with the whole family. Depending on the size of your family, a cabin can usually start around $200 to $300 per night. At least that's true in Pigeon Forge area, and that's for about a 3-bedroom with a loft area for the kids. But from there, the sky's the limit. I've seen up to like 15 bedrooms. But once you divide that between each part of the family, it's actually pretty reasonable. That makes this the most affordable new way to spend your holiday. Along those same lines, you might want to try a beach condo. This won't be as cozy as a cabin in the mountains, but it can be just as fun, but for different reasons. This fits the doing something different this year, of course unless you live by the beach. And like a cabin, you can probably find one that will fit your whole family. I would suggest choosing someplace warm so you can actually get into the water. Probably Florida, and really the further south you can make it in Florida, the better. I went snorkeling in the Florida Keys in January a couple years ago. Perfect. Depending on where you go, this can be about the same price as a cabin. For example, I found one in Miami that sleeps 6 guests for $260 a night. But if you go a little further south to the Keys, you will find them starting around $600 to $700 a night. Then adding to that cost, you have getting to Florida and transportation once you get to Florida. So overall, this is a far more expensive option for you. The next one also falls under the category of doing something new this holiday season and having room for the whole family. And I'm talking about a cruise ship. Of course, there's all sorts of destinations you can go for a cruise. In November, December, you are a little limited on your destinations, but let's face it, you're probably picking a cruise because you're trying to get away from the cold of winter. So that right there is your first perk. The holidays do put you generally past the hurricane season, so there's another plus. A nice thing about a cruise is you do still have some of that captured audience, especially when you make it to a port and have some activities to do. But there's also tons of stuff for all ages to do on the ship itself while you're traveling, so everyone gets a break, because sometimes you need that. A Caribbean cruise is more expensive on the dates around Thanksgiving and Christmas, with the dates in between those holidays being far cheaper. For the dates around Christmas and Thanksgiving, you're looking around $600 to $700 per person, and the dates in between about half that, around $300 per person. Or if you really want to get crazy and do New Year's on a ship, then you're looking about $1,200 per person. And once again, that does not include airfare to get you to the port where your ship leaves from. Our next holiday getaway is kind of like a cruise ship that doesn't leave the land. I'm talking about an all-inclusive resort. This has many of the same features as a cruise ship as well. All your meals are included. Of course, I'm talking tropical all-inclusive resorts. You could actually find some of these in the mountains as well and maybe go skiing, or somewhere like the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, Carolina. There are a lot of options in this category. As I looked around the internet, I found that the prices for these all-inclusive resorts go anywhere from $400 per night per hotel room to $1,200 per night per hotel room. And because of that last category, that's why I make this more expensive than the cruise ship. But it is possible that you can find one of these mountain ones that are close to you that makes this a lot cheaper. The final suggestion for a destination for a holiday getaway is both a new way to experience the holiday and ups the magic. That destination is a theme park. In the winter, you are a little bit limited to your choices of theme park. You're probably going to be looking at Florida or Southern California, but there is at least one other option that I recommend. But let's start with the place I know best, Disney. Whether it's Disneyland in California or Disney World in Florida, both decorate the parks amazing, and you get to have experiences you would have at no other time at those parks. Whether it's the rides being decorated differently with holiday music to boot, or it's some food choices that you don't have at any other time of the year. The Disney parks certainly up the magic for the holiday season. Of course, the biggest drawback to this is that everybody knows it. For both coasts, this is the busiest time of year for these parks. So if you don't like big crowds, I highly recommend you don't go to Disney during the holidays. But there is a park you can go to. Dollywood is also amazing at Christmas time. The big difference here is since you're in the Smoky Mountains, it's going to be cold, and so a lot of the rides are closed. But of course, Dolly has magic of her own up her sleeve. There are shows, parades, Christmas lights, and there are some rides that are open. You know what you could do? You could stay at a cabin in the Smokies and then go to Dollywood. Sounds like a pretty good trip to me. I'm going to do this in a couple of weeks. Hey, as usual, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you making it this far in the video. And because you did, you're my favorite. Please give the video a like, please give me a subscribe. And if you do those things, I'll see you next time.